So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video where today we are taking a look at the top 10 worst perk spots or locations you can find within Call of Duty Zombies. As always, these are in my opinion going from number 10 being the best out of the bunch to number 1 being the worst. And I don't necessarily mean number 2 is worse than number 4 or number 7 is better than 5. They're not really in any particular order, as they're all as annoying as one another, and I suppose it also depends on your playstyle, and because we're dealing with perks here, on some maps they are random, so occasionally in one of these locations it's not necessary to go there if there's a perk that perhaps you don't need. So just bear that in mind. But coming in at number 10 of my worst perk spots, this is Deadshot on Call of the Dead. So I've put this here because maybe I'm being a little bit biased towards Deadshot Daiquiri. It's definitely not one of my favourite perks in the game. In fact, it's probably one of my least used. But also, while it is in an annoying location, if you do happen to get trapped, it is pretty easy to escape from. It is located right at the top of the lighthouse on this little circular area. It's not a place you're really going to go to, and it isn't somewhere you're going to hang out too long. Plus, having a perk up here taking up the little room that there is. Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. There are these zip lines that you can use to escape, however. You just have to be very careful. It's not the worst location, and you're not really going to come up here anyway. If it was a more useful perk like Juggernog or maybe Speed Cola Double Tap, then it'd be a different story. Moving on down into number 9 are the two perks Speed Cola and Juggernog from Moon. Now this is the perk spawn location that you find in the starting area in Area 51 Groom Lake, and really for me this is a 50-50 chance on whether I end up quitting the game or carrying on. I'm sure you've all played Moon by now, so you know how this works. In the starting area, before you teleport to the moon, either Juggernog or Speed Cola is gonna spawn. If it's Juggernog, usually I'm happy because I'll stay in Area 51, get enough points to buy it, and then teleport to the moon. But if it's Speed Cola, well, there's really no point, in my opinion, of buying that before Juggernog, so you have to travel to the moon, turn on the power, and then return back to buy the perk. And also, it's not the easiest to purchase. Area 51 has unlimited zombies. There are loads of different spawn locations they can come at you from, and also, you can't escape the area straight away. The teleporter is locked off for a certain amount of time. I believe it's like 30 seconds. So you have to survive for a short amount of time before you can leave. It's really more annoying than difficult, I would say. If you don't purchase it straight away, you've pretty much got to make your way through the entire map in order to buy it. This one's just really annoying. Moving on down into number 8 is the Origins Juggernog location. For some reason I'm thinking this one's going to seem more easier to other people than it is to me. It looks like it's in a simple enough location, but it isn't. It's packed right near to the generator. It's in this almost small little boxed off area, plus there are different locations that the zombies can come from, and my least favourite thing about this is the fact that you have to turn on the generator first. That's not really something you can do at the end of the round, because halfway through activating it, the next round's going to begin, and as soon as the generator turns on, I have the sudden urge to go and buy Juggernog, which is probably my downfall. Maybe I should wait a little bit later until the round ends. But because it's just placed in this corner, you have to go in, turn around, and then get out as quick as possible. This kind of reminds me of Buried, the Juggernog location in that map, which we'll get onto later on. But yeah, this is almost like a tamed down version of it. It doesn't seem too bad, but I can remember countless times that I've ended up going down after purchasing this, which just makes it just as worse. Imagine buying Juggernog and then going down straight away. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you guys have had trouble with this one. Coming in at number 7 is yet another Juggernog location. It seems like these are the most popular, probably because it's one of the best perks, but this one is on Kino. Now, just like the previous one, I have had problems with this myself, but I included this one more for everyone else. Every gameplay, every walkthrough, every whatever footage you've seen on YouTube of Kino, when I look in the comments, I always see people slandering the Juggernog location, saying that they hate it, they always go down. It is in a pretty bad spot. It's not the tightest, but it's the fact that you have to go back out on yourself, and then there are either two different directions the zombies can come from, the left or right. Either one of those two locations you have to go, and since the theatre is the main area that you're going to train on this map anyway, it's not like you have to run to a new area and the zombies aren't going to be there. You can buy it straight away. You either have to be very skilled in order to train the zombies, or you have to leave, come back, and then purchase it. It is quite a tricky one. When I've had to buy this over and over again, I usually end up staying next to the Juggernog machine, putting my tent up and camping out against the zombies a full round until I can find a good time to leave. It's one of those situations again where you just don't want to buy Jug and then go down straight away. For number 6, I have picked the garage or garage, however you say that wherever you're from, in Nuketown Zombies. We know in Nuketown we have random perks. I'm pretty sure just saying this off the top of my head, from what I can remember without researching, any perk can spawn in any location, of course also at any time as well. I don't believe there is a specific perk that spawns in here. I've definitely had quick revive before, but that's not necessarily important anyway. What's different about this is, in order to reach the perk, first you have to crawl, which in zombies is never a good thing. You want to be going as fast as possible. Crawling is the slowest possible movement. It takes ages to get back up on your feet, but you have to go under the garage door, purchase the perk, and then go back under the garage door again to leave. Unlike a lot of others where you can pretty much buy them whenever, this one you have to get it at the end of the round, otherwise you're going to be trapped in here and the area is so small that 99% of the time you're going to get downed. This is just a really bad spot. The reason I didn't put it further down onto the list is because I feel like I never really have to come under here. So either that's because I've got a horrible memory, or a useful perk for me whenever I play never spawns. Number 5 is what I was talking about earlier. This one goes to Buried, the Juggernog spawn location. A worse version of the Juggernog location in Origins. This is pretty much a long hallway, a long corridor. Right at the end is Juggernog, and yeah, there's only one way in and one way out. I would say the benefit to this and why it's not as worse as it may sound is because it's actually a really good camping spot. If you've got an LMG, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to survive after purchasing this. If you've got something that doesn't have much ammo, then you might be screwed. But either with this, you buy it at the end of a round, or what I think everyone does is you buy it, camp here, kill the zombies, and then leave when it's safe. And even though there are other locations that are similar, where you have to camp at the perk machine until you can leave, other ones are more difficult because there are multiple zombie spawn locations, whereas this, it is only one. Right at the end of the corridor, you have a line of sight, you can see where they're coming from. So yeah, it's not a brilliant location, but if you've got an LMG or a good weapon, you should be fine. Moving on down to number 4, I believe we're on, is Juggernog from Ascension. Actually, think about this one now. Maybe it deserved to go a little bit higher on the list. I don't think it's that bad. This is another one that I've seen a lot of people hating on. I've seen people saying in comments of videos that they've gone down here a lot. But for me personally, I've never had too many problems. It has got me down a couple of times. I don't mind this one because it's near to the spawn location and it's also close to the power. It's kind of in between everything. And I think Ascension is an easy map anyway. Definitely one of my favorites. Although what I do hate about it is the monkeys, which have contributed to me going down. The amount of times they've attacked Juggernog, taken it away, I've then gone to buy it again, and as soon as you know the next round starts, the zombies come at you, and that's it. It's in a kind of small area. You do have to back up on yourself, but you don't have far to walk. So yeah, I'm going to put this one here. Maybe it should have come in at number 7, 6, something like that. But either way, it still deserves a place on the list. Moving on down to number 3, we have all of the perk locations from Die Rise. You know what? Screw this. What do I hate about every perk on this? They're in elevators. You have to wait. You have to guess which perk is going to be where. It's not like random perks on other maps where you can just quickly check. You have to wait for the elevator to turn up. Is it going to be above you? Is it going to be below you? On certain areas, you have to actually purchase your way to that specific elevator. You might not need it for anything else. You might not even know the perk that you want is there. Let's just say, I don't know, something like quick revive. Maybe you wait, who doesn't have quick revive? Maybe speed cola, you run stamina up instead of that, so you didn't need it. You spend wasted points going to there. Yeah, what was the point? Another thing that annoys me is the fact that you have to be pretty quick to purchase them. They don't wait around too long. How many times can I count? Not even on 2 hands, to figure out the amount of times I've seen the perk in my line of sight. I'm just about to purchase it, and then the elevator leaves. I don't really know a specific one to pick. There is one that's kind of on its own, that's not really useful other than getting the perk. Most of the elevators are together, but this, out of any of them, 100% deserves its place. The only reason it isn't further down is it's more annoying than difficult. And then we go to number 2. We are back with the map Buried, this time the double tap spawn location. It is in the witch's house. Now you are gonna have to come through here to get to Pack-a-Punch. However, on your way through the house, you don't go towards the direction of double tap. Usually you walk straight past it, but where it's located is just off to the right, and by the time you've got there and brought it, there's about 10 witches on you already. As I'm sure you know, as soon as the witches touch you, they take points away. Imagine actually making your way to the double tap machine and the witches take your points away before you get there. How triggered would you be? Luckily that's never happened to me. But getting down into that final number 1 spot, I have had to pick the Riese Juggernog location. Now we also have this on the Giant, however since we have random perks, anything can spawn here. I always found it a little bit more annoying with Juggernog since you're always going to buy that, so you're always going to have to come over to this location, whereas if it's something like Mule Kick, you're not going to come here every game, thankfully, but it is this area right here. Out of any location, this is where I have 100% had the most downs. It's just extremely dangerous. Right near to the perk machine there is a window. Opposite the perk machine there is another window. As you're leaving the area where the perk machine is, there are plenty of zombie spawns. Out of any location, this is really the most difficult to escape from, simply because there's just so many lines of sight to look from. Even if you're doing this at the end of the round, because it's quite a small map, the zombies spawn in pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't need to say anymore. If you've played this, you know it's a bad location for getting perks. Just hopefully, well, you have to wish every game that a perk that you don't have to buy too often is gonna spawn here. But anyway guys, there we go, that is it, that is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. Let me know your top 10 down in the comments section below. Let me know what top 10 videos that you would like to see next. Drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.